We're here today on an incredible track for the 6th round of the French Drift Championship. I said track, but it's not really a track. This is the Pôle Mécanique des Ardennes. It's in Aérodrome. This is the most northern round we've had in France. This is near the Belgian border. This is not really a track. We've already tried different kinds of things like go-kart tracks and the toge, which was the Japanese mountain drift. Here we have hundreds of meters of track. We're going to go around the track with the current champion, Benjamin Boulbès. We're going to be meeting Mike Kaufman, who is third in the championship. We're going to be talking about the techniques in drift. We're going to be talking about qualifications. We're also going to be talking about the battle, but before then we'll be talking about the 5th round, which was in Champs-Rousse. Let's take a look.
Au mois d'août, rétrospective.
Championship of France, we met up in Champs-Rousse near Grenoble. This was the first time we had something organized in the mountains and in nature. What did the racers think of it? It seems like they really had a lot of fun in any case. This is a really big surprise. This is my first season here in the French Championship. It's really stressful and well, we're going to give it all we can, but the most important thing is just to have as much fun as we can. Then our racers went on into the battles to see how they could qualify. They gave us a really great show, and this was actually the first time for most of the spectators to see some drift going on. We had a great podium here with Nicolas Delorme, followed by Kaufman and Soukas. Yeah, I'd say the difference was in how long we were holding down the gas pedal here. I had to be going as fast as I could the whole time to be able to keep up. Now we're going to get to know our current 3rd place. You will recognize him at the wheel of his car, the white one, typical for him, prepared by Street Racing Garage.
Street Racing Garage, une PS13 conduite à droite.
Let's meet Mike Kaufman.
C'est parti.
If for most of the racers, this trip to Ardennes was all the way to the ends of the earth, for Mike Kaufman, this is almost like being right at home. For this racer from Nancy, he's 24 years old. He's been on our drift championship for the past 3 years. He found his calling here on the track doing drift. I'm friends with everybody. If it's BMW, Japanese, I really like everything. You know, I have a great relationship with certain ones. You know, it can be kind of stressful because there's some risks, but it's really a great pleasure to be on the tracks with you. The feelings we get when we drift, it's really something you won't find anywhere else. You know, it's a lot of fun to have, you know, mechanically everything getting together and to be able to drift with it. It's great. Kaufman driving a Nissan PS13. It's really a staple in drift, having 480 horsepower, a really tip-top preparation. I have a Nissan PS13 that was imported from Japan. Last year I had the 4-cylinder turbo. This year I had an engine that's a 6-cylinder turbo. We're hoping to keep developing the car. We'll see at the end of the season. I think for next year we'll have some good modifications coming up. Mike Kaufman has a really precise and aggressive kind of driving. He is now 3rd in the championship. This season he really didn't have a lot of luck, but he says that he's been able to take care of all the little details that made him lose points previously. This year we thought we were going to take the whole season to develop the car to get things going. In the beginning of the season we didn't have much luck with a lot of stuff breaking. After that I did 2 podiums, and that made me able to make my way up on the podium. I'm now 3rd place in the classement. Yeah, now the goal is to stay 3rd place at least or move up. On this track it's called Kiss the Wall, and basically it's because, as you can see from the car, Mike Kaufman has already been kissing the wall. As you get closer and closer going around the track, you end up eventually kissing the wall, literally. What happened to your car? Oh, nothing much. We just had some fiber that was busted up. Really well thought of here and surrounded by friends. He was able to get some help here from his friends and even from the missus. Everyone helped take care of all of the repairs, and he was able to get back on the tracks again.
Aujourd'hui, dans le dossier technique,
Today, in the technical side of drift, we're going to be talking about something really important. We're going to be talking about shock absorbers. It's not just the engines, it's not just the way you race. All of the racers are really familiar with this. We're going to be meeting a few of the racers to see what their secrets are in terms of setup.
de leur machine.
Effectivement, même si le fameux dicton
And it's true, even if we say there are no bad cars, only bad pilots, the driver really has to have a nice car and everything set up perfectly in order to be able to race properly. Shock absorbers are really important, as well as tires, but also by how fast the pistons will be coming back when they hit.
on a souvent tendance à
We often say that girls don't have their place here, but what does our guest have to say about it?
l'inviter.
It is very important for us to do drifting on the road, and if a shock absorber is very soft and very easy to push, so not fast enough. In other hand, shock absorber is very hard and very difficult to push, and so slippery, and in especially in wet condition and like ice road, yeah. So and I have to adjust the shock absorber and depend on condition.
Great pilot Sumika seems to know exactly what she wants for her different kinds of setups. As for the boys,
Quel est ton secret?
what's your setup? What's your secret?
Amortisseur une voie de marque HSD pour des réglages de hauteur.
I have something set up that's pretty high so that I'm able to get out of on the track without ripping everything off. But I also need some springiness to be able to kind of bounce back, to be able to shift sides and go in the other way. From one track to the other, do you change your setup? During the race, I try not to change everything because I get used to my car. I mean, I don't even change the tire pressure. I stay how I know the car. I only change the setup when I'm training to see what's best.
Julien, peux-tu nous dire quel travail as-tu réalisé sur cette voiture concernant le...
Julien, can you tell us what kind of work you did to get the suspension set up on this car? We worked a long time on how supple it was with the shock absorbers, because on this track it's really important. It really works on the chassis a lot. We're working a lot on the compression of the shock absorbers here. We're also working on the different heights, you know, and roll bars.
Aussi sur les hauteurs et tout ce qui est barre anti-roulis, qui est très important.
This time around, the impression we get is, you know, it's kind of random. The way that you set up and adjust the shock absorbers is really important. So, as you can see, there's a lot of the racers that are really trying to fine-tune their shock absorbers. For others, it's kind of new to them. You can work on here on the front of the car, you can see working on the springs. You can be between 8 or 10. In drift, it's more or less between 8 to 10 kilos. We can also work on the different heights. Most of the time it's just with a screw on the top, but in other cases, like with this shock absorber, you'll be able to modify the compression and decompression in a different way. Everything's getting more and more complicated, but more and more precise. Everything's getting more and more professional.
Cet amortisseur avec la dotation qui va avec.
For the lucky ones watching us here, you're going to be going around the track with Benjamin Boulbès, current champion of the French Drift Championship. Benjamin, are you ready to show our spectators what your secrets are? Definitely ready here. No problem. Let's go ahead and go.
On va voir.
Here we go. On the starting line, taking off. First, I think actually he's even starting in second. Here we go into third gear, and then we have this long turn. He's really on the outside here against the wall. Here we go into the transition. We see the clipping point right here on the right, and the last curve around the wall, and here's the flag at the end. Our racers are finally ready. They were able to practice and train themselves for a long time for the qualifications. It's really important because the winner gets 20 points for the championship. Most importantly, we have the best here going up against the least performant. Maybe it's a lot easier for the upcoming battles. Let's take a look and see how it went. Here we have our drivers getting ready for the qualifications. One time around the track for a warm-up. Our drivers really paying attention here to the judges' suggestions. And let's see what Ludovic Clini has to say about it and Surika. Ludovic, can you explain to us why you are organizing this event here? We really wanted to have somebody from the traditional values of Japan here to be able to bring that to us, and that's why we have Surika here.
Sumika, thank you for coming here. What do you think about French drifters and French public?
And everyone is very gentle and kind of, yeah, for me. Yeah, and Japanese people is similar to the French people and very good.
Once again, we have Benjamin Boulbès coming in first with his amazing score of 94 points. What does Benjamin think about this? No, it's not really easy at all. It's something really different from what we're used to. I've got really difficult clipping to find, especially the third, which is actually, you know, right up against the concrete wall. Now that the qualifications are over with, we have our racers here that are very studiously preparing themselves and practicing for the battles. It's these battles that are going to give us our classmen. Let's see how it goes right now. So here we are for the top 16 with Benjamin Boulbès against David Mounier. David, who has a great first run, following Benjamin perfectly with a score of 5-5. On the lap back, he makes a big mistake, a really, really big mistake. Fishtailing, and Benjamin wins 10-0. Zanato, who almost slid out Ford Mustang around this corner, up against Laurent Roussel in the orange BMW. Each of them making their own mistakes. It kind of evens out to 5-5. Zanato, who's pushing his opponent to make some mistakes here, going around the corners, and he ends up touching the wall, and it's finished. Nicolas Renoir, who is going up against Soukas here. In the grey BMW, we have a big mistake with a fishtail from Nicolas. It ends up costing him 10-0. It's really hard to deal with. Soukas, who also makes a mistake, costing him 10-0. We end up having to have it one more time. Finally, we end up with Nicolas Soukas, who will be qualified. Julien Joseph following Sumika Kubokawa. Julien had a little mistake here. There you go. You can see we have a score here of 6-4. On the second lap, we have again 6-4 as our score here. We end up with it one more time here again, and this time around it's Sumika who will be qualified. Jérémy Gerbin and Sébastien Blanchet, they really put on a great show for us. Great performance. We had a 5-5 on the way back. We have Sébastien Blanchet, who is the leader here. We still have a great performance. Once again here, 5-5. So we end up once again with one more time. This time around, it's Sébastien Blanchet who will be qualified. We have Brisson here in the black BMW as leader, up against Cousin in the orange BMW with a score here of 6-4. A wonderful show going on, right up against the wall. So this time around we switch positions. It again will be a score of 6-4. The judges ask again for one more time, and this time around it's Cousin who passes first. Here we have the one more time in video Following our two racers, we have Yvan Buisson here, who is really holding on here. Yvan Buisson, who's continuing here through the turns. He was in the lead 7-3. He's going to be losing 4-6. Here we are really up against the wall. Here we have our friend Van Hoerik in the yellow BMW, our friend from Belgium, up against Jocelyn Janin here with the BMW 21. A great show here. Peter is winning 7-3. Nice time around. There's a lot of smoke, and this time around we have Peter Van Hoerik, who's winning 6-4. Mike Kaufman in the blue PS13. Mike's going really fast with a perfect line. The score of 6-4 this time around is really, really nice. Now we have Mike here in the following position. Really aggressive. It's really magnificent. He's winning here 6-4. Bravo. Great job, guys. Benjamin Boulbès here in the BMW. He makes a big mistake. Lots of smoke here going around, still happening. We get Rafael Zanato in front of him here, 7-3. This time around, changing positions. Zanato here in the outside. Benjamin following really well. Really a nice line here. One more time, the judges have asked for it again. So we start yet again. This time around, Boulbès, no errors. He's winning 7-3 up against Zanato. Last time around, Benjamin Boulbès, who could be the winner after this one more time? Romain Soukas, who has the privilege of having his battle with Sumika Kubukawa in the gray car. Sumika is really incredible in this battle. Romain makes a big mistake here. He was winning 6-4, but he's going to lose this match here. This is 6-4. He is eliminated. Laurent Cousin in the orange BMW up against Sébastien Blanchet. Sébastien Blanchet, who's fighting for it, who's giving it all he's got. The line is good, it's a little bit longer. Laurent Cousin is really, really doing well here. 6-4. Here we have Mike Kaufman, leader in the blue Nissan. Ooh, we have a big mistake here from Peter Van Hoerik. It's really going to cost him here. He's going to be losing to Mike 8-2 for this lap. On the second lap, Mike Kaufman's really aggressive as usual. He's going to be losing against Van Hoerik 6-4, but it's still Mike who's going to be qualified. Mike Kaufman up against Laurent Cousin. It's the place in the finalists that's being played out here. Lots of smoke, lots of speed, lots of angle here. A small error. Laurent Cousin, who's catching up to him, we see it. Nice performance. After the first round, we had 6-4 for Kaufman, 7-3 for Laurent Cousin. It's Laurent Cousin who will be in the finals. Benjamin Boulbès, leader here, up against Subika, who makes an error here. The BMW GT Radial, she came back pretty well, but she's still being outdone by Boulbès, 6-4. Benjamin Boulbès, who's following, not quite as close, maybe a little less angle. Judges ask for one more time. She's right here, right behind Boulbès. Ooh, really close. This is going to be really, really difficult this one more time. The score is still 6-4 for Sumika. Benjamin's holding on here. He's not going to let go. This is a finalist place that he's working on. It's going to be really complicated for the judges, but 6-4 once again. Here we have Sumika's really holding on for this lap around. Here we go. Ooh, really, really close. Benjamin has a great line, but it's Sumika who's passing. Benjamin Boulbès, leader, thanks to his pole position, up against Kaufman here. It's going to be really, really tense. We've got Mike crossing perfectly. It'll be a 5-5 on this first battle. Benjamin Boulbès, ooh, he's really, really on the inside here. It's not looking good. Mike Kaufman, who is overtaken by Benjamin Boubès, who's not at all on the right trajectory, 10-0. Kubokawa leader in front of Laurent Cousin. Nice line. It's going to be a difficult round this time around, but one thing's for sure, we're going to have a great show. Both of our racers are really giving it all they got. Once again, we have the judges asking for one more time, so here we go again, starting once again. Sumika's really holding on. Yeah, she's got some angle going on, a nice line. Laurent is a little bit behind, and his BMW is a little bit too much on the interior. It'll be 6-4 for Sumika. Sumika, who has the advantage here. She'd really have to get this point here this time before the run. She's going to be winning 6-4. She is the one getting in, winning this round. Nice job for both of them. Yeah, it was really close and really stressful, but thanks to the qualifications, I passed directly into the top 16. It's really a positive thing to be on the podium here. I did have to really fight to get into the third place, though, Sumika's really a great racer, and I think she really deserves the place she got on the podium. It's really nice to see that there are women that, they're able to beat us. No, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her at all. Definitely not. She's really a good sport, and it was a real pleasure to be with her.
I had a great time with French guys. C'était super.
The curtain is closing here on the 6th round of the French Drift Championship. It was a great show again. I'd like to thank my wonderful team who's right behind me here for this great job. And all together we tell you,
Rendez-vous pour la finale!